MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
If my calculations are right, it's Thursday. Am I right on that?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
What a week we have had.
It's a stressful morning, too. Like, it's foggy. I was running behind. Goodness. Anyway.
We've had a lot of serious fog. Most of it's burning off. There's still some out there. But earlier this morning, basically from the Meridian Airport due south all the way into Clark County, it was so thick you couldn't see your hand in front of you if you went outside to feed the chickens.
In low-lying areas on the roads, it's still like that, so be extra careful this morning.
That's right. Let's see here. Still a lot of water runoff in the areas. Make sure these creeks are still on the rise as this stuff comes off. Be careful on all that. We've got a lot of news stories for you this morning that's going on in and around the area. Keep you up to date with the very latest. We are awaiting from Winston County. They have made an arrest. The video we showed of the guy that busted into the store with a gun drawn as soon as he walked in. They have made an arrest in it. 2 people behind bars this morning. Winston County is going to get that to us here in a little bit. Louisville, sleep a little bit safer knowing that they've been cuffed and stuffed, so to speak.
That's good.
And it is. You use a gun in any shape, form, or way for a robbery, you deserve what you get. And they've made an arrest. I'm not on my best speaking ever. Yeah.
Kind of like, is it like a Gomer?
Yeah, I had a Gomer moment there. Every now and then I'll thumb across old Gomer at night.
We watched him last night. We watched the Andy Griffith show last night. It had Gomer and Goober on there. They were dancing with those ladies from Mount Pilot.
The party ladies, is that what they were called?
Yeah, they were one of them, the one that Andy was hanging around. It sounded like she smoked about 3 packs a day.
She had a 4-pack habit.
Yeah, she did. I think so.
But those were honestly the good days, and it makes you wonder when they were filming that. Did they have any idea just how long that would be a part of American society?
I know. I mean, it makes you long for those days back, because it's just so crazy now.
Good morning to Bill Reinhart joining us. Also, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, you hit me. Anitra Humphreys, is that correct? Dwayne is watching us from Louisville. How are you, Dwayne Kelsey?
Teresa Short's watching from the Lost Gap. And April, she's in Missouri watching. This morning, April Roberts. Gail Gaffer, good morning to you. And Patsy Gilbert, good morning. Hope y'all are having a great day. Sun shines out.
All the way from Alabama, Donald Johnson. Hope you're JT Rigdon joins us there. Union.
Yeah.
From the metropolitan area. I like that. That's a good way to put it there.
Miss Ann Cook.
I haven't talked to Miss Ann in a while. I hope everything's going good with her, Mr. John. I'm waiting on y'all's next steak cooking. I'm coming. Y'all just let me know when you fire up the grill. I'll be there.
That sounds good. A steak.
Let's see. We'll talk about things like this, of stepping up when things go on in your community. In the Poplar Springs District today, they're going to hold at 12 noon a get-together to form a neighborhood watch program. And then why is that important? Well, and if you've watched any of what I report, there's a lot of things that go on in this community right there in that Poplar Springs Drive area there of gunfire, cars stolen, this, that, and the other. So if that worries you and you're watching from that district of Meridian, Mississippi, be there at noon at the Velma Young Community Center. They're going to do this today and announce how to put the program together and get it started. And I talked about this earlier. If you don't live in a big area like that, you live on the rural route, get 5, 6, 7, 8 friends on that neighborhood where you get at least a group text.
Right.
To where this is happening.
And I'm sure you probably know where that's at, but if you don't, it's located at 1530 24th Street, Velma Young.
I'd have to have you drive. I'm being honest here. I've never been to that community center ever in my life.
I think I've been by there. I can't remember what it was for, but I've been by there. But I guess that's around about where it's at.
Really interesting. There's parts of Meridian I have never been into. I've looked at some of it on Google Maps, and I go, wow, that don't look familiar.
Yeah.
Like I rarely go from North Hill Street, what is that, 29th Avenue that stretches all the way through 8th Street, makes it to the interstate. I rarely go through there. Every now and then you go through, boy, I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
Some beautiful old homes
There is
that you just treasures out there.
There is beautiful homes in Meridian, and I hate to see a lot of them are running down. I hope there's something that, will change in that aspect where they can revamp them.
Yeah.
So I know they're trying to with the Historic Society.
Debbie Moles called them the fun girls from Mount Pilot.
Okay, the fun girls.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were called, the fun girls. They were crazy though. I think Barney had brought them into the jail last night to look around, and they were Thelma Lou and what's the other one's name?
Miss Helen Crump.
Yeah, had saw him coming out of the jail, so it wasn't a good thing.
That's called getting busted.
Yeah.
Let's see. Also tonight, if you want to know exactly what storms are, a lot of times you look at me and go, well, I think that could be a tornado. You're not sure. Tonight at Meridian Community College, the emergency management team, they're all going to be there. Odie and his entourage. They're setting up with the National Weather Service for a spotter training class. Now, kids are welcome to come out. I hear there's snacks and Kool-Aid.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to come out and learn, it's very entertaining, and you'll walk away with learning something. 7 o'clock, it's that old Walmart building. Workforce Development is what they call it now.
Okay.
And if you have never toured that thing, it don't look nothing like it did when Walmart was there. Y'all should
It's
should
nice.
Look.
They have really, really fixed it up. Very nice.
Training like you wouldn't believe. You can.
I think they do like 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
Like, what do you call it?
They have
Get your
simulators inside.
A
You get your
CDL
CDL
type license. Yeah, CDL
But you should go back and get them to let you drive the 18-wheeler on the simulator.
No.
Pretty neat.
I don't think I'd do very well. I'm doing good to control the Yukon.
Let me show you this. As we all sat here the other afternoon together and these storms blew through our area, here are the tracks that are confirmed tornadoes in our area. You can go to sammedia.network to learn more about this. But these red streaks here are actual tornadoes that came through the area. Let's blow that up where you can get a better look at that. Right here, this came into Kemper County on that northwest corner. This is Damascus area right through here that got hit by this and that long track here. This started in Clark County. Remember, we spotted it out in Tumsuba. There was some roof damage, but it was not on the ground the entire time. We were beyond blessed, and God protected us that afternoon.
You know, our area where we live is kind of right down below the two tracks right there. So I felt like we were pretty much spared.
Very spared. This could have been a lot worse, but that's a look at the state, and you can study that again there. We did a lot of roofs, and in Kemper County, 2 homes and a mobile home destroyed. I went through, I got my mom a sandwich at Subway yesterday, and they were telling me that one of the young ladies that worked there, she was one of the ones that lost her home there, and that's why she wasn't at work today. I always sweep when I go through there. And I think about her and her family as they try to recover from this. You got your life.
Right. Thank goodness that they were prepared and got out, you know.
But if you lost that pink shirt there,
Yeah.
boy, you'd be upset. And that's how, seriously, you think about what you got, just what it cost in clothes.
Oh, I know.
That is in your closet.
Anything. Right. I mean, you pretty much have the shirt on your back, you know.
And 90% of people have no clue what that insurance, that little thing that you've taken out, what your content is,
Right.
of how much coverage you got. And you go to buying stuff, your
Right.
clothes would be $50,000 for 4 or 5 people. I mean, that quick.
Right.
Things are high now.
I mean, insurance will help out, but it doesn't 100%
No.
replace everything. So prayers for the ones who did lose their homes and lost things.
Now, we had a lot of upset people yesterday just to the, if you're sitting here, Meridian, it'd be to the east of us, the westbound lane of I-20. Why? Well, from my understanding, there was an 18-wheeler wreck, and the pictures of the actual truck are, it's scary how anybody could even look. It took 9 hours. If you were there, you sat in your vehicle in one spot and did move for 9 hours as constant helicopters flew in to help out with this. Supposedly, and it's not confirmed, an 18-wheeler was going down the road and a car cut him off, and he swerved to miss it and ran off into the woods.
Oh, goodness.
It was the biggest mangled piece of machinery that I've ever seen. Now, this is a scene of what was going on with traffic down I-20 there, just sitting. And I want you to just look how this looked here.
Goodness.
That went on and on for miles. You imagine 9
And where
hours.
was this at?
I-20 in Greene County, Alabama, west
Goodness.
coming towards us.
Okay.
And it just did not get here. They were Utah, Alabama, in that area there.
Okay.
All of that was blocked up. I talked to someone last night that said that they were 5 miles from the exit, but just had to sit there. You make it to Utah, you could have went the back way into us.
Right.
So we think about them. Now, another thing that went on yesterday is there was an arrest yesterday, as we all know. Highway 493, you're leaving Meridian, headed toward the Bailey community there, just past the PV headquarters. The store was robbed at gunpoint. I want to point that out, gunpoint. For whatever reason, if somebody totes a gun and goes in a store, I could care less. You rob somebody, it's wrong. Here's the gentleman that was arrested yesterday. Somewhere around 2 to 2:30, this happened. Michael D. Dooley was arrested for what he done. Again, you're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, but that's what the charges are this morning. And here's the scene as this came about yesterday afternoon, as neighbors were going, what in the world is going on? I spoke to the lady that filmed this, and this is what was happening in her community as police converged in the neighborhood. As you can see, they're all over the place, and they're escorting him to the police car after they cracked the case. Now, there is talk. I haven't gotten back with the Meridian Police Department, and I will, as to who was driving the getaway car. I've heard all types of different stories. We'll find out more about that and see where that goes. But that was the scene that happened in Meridian, Mississippi yesterday. And again, we hope to have that footage from Louisville also of those people that were.
Right.
And as crime and things get higher, when things get higher is when people start taking things that aren't theirs. We have seen this rash of people running. Y'all check your cars. They take drill bits with a drill and drill into your gas tank and then put a bucket under it and get your gas. That's not yours.
Right.
Someone's going to get hurt.
Right. I mean, it's bad that people make bad decisions, but you know, you have to be held accountable.
That's right. You can't slap people on the hand and go, it's going to be okay, because you know why? They'll do it again. Others watch it and they go do the same thing. So as we continue coverage with all of that, we got more. We ain't done yet. We got some more to tell you of things going on in the community. Let's talk about our friends right over here at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. They got a lot up in there since 1932. Well, things change every day. New products come in. And if you need a pair of work gloves, go by and see them. They got a lot of those, whether you like the comfortable ones that zip tie around your hand or if you want just those leather ones. They got them for you. From shirts and anything that you may need to work in. They're a working man's place is what they are. You can get those ball caps, jeans. If you need FRs, maybe you need a pair of new overalls. Got those as well. See them. Tennis shoes, the Twisted X. One of the most comfortable you'll ever put on your feet. You'll like those. Also, as we got the work boots, Georgia work boots is what I'm talking about. Twisted X as well, but comfortable boots. Sit down, try them on, see if you like them. Of course,
nice.
Yeah,
Look nice.
Water boots. You need some mud boots. We've seen Candace in those before.
Yes, yeah.
You might need a rake this year to get in that garden. They've got that also, along with pet supplies and candles and all of this and skillets and a whole lot more, all the way back to the horse and cattle feed. See them. They're located right there at the Farm Supply with guns and ammo. Exit 151 off the interstate. Drop in and see them today. The back porch of Meridian, located on Highway 19 North, invites you by to take a look at their custom-made woodworking. From wooden tables, chairs, swings, and day beds. Take a step inside and visit the local meat section, where you'll find ground beef, pork chops, and even local milk from Beeson Farms. And if you need a utility trailer, they offer single, tandem, car haulers, enclosed trailers. You name it, they have it. Ask about financing. It's all at the back porch of Meridian, 5570 Highway 19 North.
I've lived in Mississippi my entire life. My earliest memories are right here in Jackson. This used to be my dad's clothing store. I worked here growing up. And this is my first office right out of law school. I know this area, these roads, these people. The people of Mississippi are my people. So when someone from here comes to me for help, I take that personally. Always have and always will. One call, that's all.
Mark your calendars for the Spring Extravaganza Show coming Saturday, April 23rd, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a brand new location at the old Office Max building at Bonita Lake Circle. From boutique clothes, shoes and accessories, children's clothing, spring plants, jewelry, gift items. Come shop and have lunch with Jack's Sausage Dogs. The Spring Extravaganza Gift Show, Saturday, April the 23rd from 9 until 4 at the old Office Max building in Meridian. Call Becky at 601-480-1776. My vote is they put a new sign out in front of the Office Max building there to spruce that look up.
Yeah.
You can't wipe away where it used to say Office Max.
I know.
But Becky will be there, and if you'd like to know more about it, call Becky. She'll take care of you and get you going.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Let's see. Overnight, let's talk about some things that went on in the community so that you'll be kind of aware of where and what things were. Now, I hadn't gotten all the details on this. When I spoke with Ward yesterday, deputies were at the scene, Center Hill community, the 7600 block of Center Hill Road, where someone reported that their mobile home was hit by gunfire. Mm-hmm. Now, there were different reports that I saw in and out the area, and I got busy and did not get a chance to talk to Ward before dark last night. But they were on the scene, and it was reported that maybe this was a drive-by shooting.
Yeah. I saw that. I actually ran across the feed on Facebook where people were discussing it. I saw where the lady had posted what had happened, and I was kind of confused.
And since then, the post has been taken down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but
right.
We'll find out more about that. We definitely don't need gunfire in our communities into homes, without a doubt.
Right.
Yesterday afternoon, also, I started getting a lot on this because there was people sitting in the dark, hungry, with bellies growling, going, "Where is my supper? I can't cook." Causeyville, that's what we're talking about. 800 and something. Let me see how many people it was. I talked about it earlier. Here we go. It was 864 people that did not get supper on time yesterday.
Maybe they made other arrangements.
What happened? Yeah, maybe so. Had to get them a little burger there. But here's the scene as our guys, and they work hard. MEPA was on the scene here. See that power pole bent over? There was a car wreck that hit the pole, which knocked out all the power.
Right.
And you just don't think about it of one power pole that could knock out nearly 900 people.
Right.
But that does happen.
These guys that get out there and do that too, when our house got hit by lightning and the power pole in the back, like 4 or 5 feet of the top of the pole got blown off by the lightning, they had to come out there and work on that. And I just sat there and watched all of what they do. Number one, it's dangerous.
It is.
And, you don't really think about how dangerous it is for them. And number two, I mean, it takes them a while sometimes to get all that stuff done. So thankful for them to be able to do what they do and help us out. Because especially when they have to get out in the middle of a storm, So thank y'all.
Amy checking in from Robertsdale, Alabama. Now, we also had some other shots reported yesterday. The 1700 block of 23rd Avenue, also near Highway Village. I got a lot of inboxes on, hey, there's gunfire near me. What can you tell me? Also, the last one that I got reported was near Grandview and 40th Street last night.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I saw that.
that was in all of those. I don't have any reports of anybody being hurt or damage on that. But,
Just to know, though, that they're firing out shots around where you live would be so alarming to me.
I got to quit standing on street corners. I went yesterday to get a little video from 14th Street, and I was standing there in my ball cap. I didn't wear my cowboy hat so I could blend in. And I'm
Were you behind
there,
the bushes?
And I started getting honks at me, and then I started getting phone calls. What are you doing on the side of a street? Well, here's what I was doing. This was reported, and again, I'll pass along this so everybody knows. This is not to cause disturbance in Meridian whatsoever, but you deserve to know what happens after dark and things that go on. As we go back to our website at sammedia.network, you'll find this and many, many other stories. But a stray bullet yesterday hit a door at Rush Hospital. This was on Tuesday night. Let me blow this up. And this is just video that I took from the street here. As you look across, cars were coming by. And this is where employees go in and out.
Yeah.
That door was damaged. I've got pictures of it there. Just so you'll know, what they're thinking is it was a stray bullet from across the street. If you're looking at 14th going toward Anderson's, it would be to the right, which is north of the hospital, back behind immediate care, that somebody shot a gun in that area and it hit it. Now, no one was hurt.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Because somebody could have easily been going down the sidewalk or standing on the other side of the door on the inside. So.
Shots were reported. About an hour later, an employee noticed that the door had been hit. So that's what happened. That's why I was standing on the street corner. Everybody was blowing at me yesterday. I have not taken up a second profession. But again, that's to let everybody know what's going on along there. Tony Keller, how are you doing there? Also, Nancy Sullivan joins us. Miss Jones, and all the way from Philadelphia, A. Jenny McKay, how are you doing there? Always good to see the folks in Philadelphia. Always such sweet people.
Yes, they are.
Can't beat that. Martin Day is coming up.
It sure is. 35th Annual Martin Day, Saturday, March 26th, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I want to remind everybody that today they are still going to be taking donations for the auction, which is going to be 4 to 6, if I'm correct, on that day. They're going to do, Boland's going to do an auction. They're going to, all the benefit money is going to go towards Lauren Pogue and their medical expenses that they've incurred. So if you can donate something to that, they're still taking up for donations today. I think between 2 and 4 today, possibly.
That's right.
So they're going to have food and fun and vendors. They're going to have booths set up, bouncy houses for the kids, a 50-50 raffle drawing, a $10 barbecue chicken plates. So y'all need to go check it out. It's going to be fun for the whole family.
Now, I've often thought this, and you tell me if I'm wrong. It's just my southern upbringing. As when you know who done the chicken, as you look at this ad there, they're going to have fried chicken, but who's cooking it? If it's Miss Thelma in the community, you might sell some more. Y'all need to put on there, so-and-so's cooked it.
I don't know, but I think I heard that Mr. Wayne Roberts is going to be doing the baked beans.
Oh, get out of here.
Frog's going to be doing the baked beans, y'all.
Now, if you've got something going on in your community, no matter where you're from, where you're watching from, send it to us. If your fire department's trying to raise money, let us know so we can tell others.
Yes.
It's good for the communities to stay together. And we reach a lot of areas, and we want to be a part of your community also.
Right.
Now, this is kind of near and special to me. I brought this up when I was sitting here last night. I have to admit, I totally forgot that this had been made a holiday by Donald Trump. But our veterans, they're very important to us. And March the 29th is Vietnam Veterans Day. Did you even remember that Donald had done that?
I didn't know there was a Vietnam Veterans Day. I knew there was Veterans Day, but I did
That's
not know.
in November.
I think it's a wonderful thing, though, because so many times people forget what they went through.
Yeah, Vietnam was a special war. So again, that's coming up on Vietnam Veterans Day is going to be the 29th of this month. Remember that. James Bailey said it's the firefighters making that chicken. They're going to barbecue it up with some fire.
I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah, it will be. And I hope y'all sell a whole bunch of that. But swing on by and talk to them. A Mississippi man, this is kind of important. I talked about it earlier on our first broadcast this morning. But when you go to burning cell towers, that ain't good.
No.
That's going to get your picture in the news, too.
Yeah. Because that disrupts a whole lot of people. Plus, it's a whole lot of money.
Yes, it is.
Down the drain, yeah.
But they've arrested a man down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. He's done 2 or 3 different cell towers. Now, that almost makes you, that's almost like an act of terrorism because that's communication.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd pass that along. They did make an arrest. His name was Manuel de Jesus. He was arrested just before 10 on Tuesday morning as ATF agents, as you saw those pictures we saw, they converge at your home with handcuffs. Sometimes they're not those pretty pink ones. They're really metal and they don't feel good.
Yeah. I'm sure they won't be lenient on you either.
No, not a bit there. That did happen in the community. I want y'all to know about that. We learned. Have you really studied, Candace, this about this poor lady that was in New Orleans and her car was carjacked and her arm?
I have not really studied it, but I just know that when we reported on it and just seeing all that, it's just devastating. I mean, that's horrible.
It
tragic.
makes the hair on my arm stand up to talk about this. She lost her arm as they stole her car, and she's died from those wounds of that. And I'm trying to remember back. We had somebody in our community, and God bless her soul, that lost an arm a few years ago. Y'all remember this, of the strap?
Yeah, I knew her. I mean, I know who you're talking about, yeah.
I cannot imagine.
That was a freak accident, really.
Yeah. And what I'm talking about, it was a tie-down strap, and she went to grab it out the back window of the truck, and
because it was flopping around, I think she was going to grab it.
It caught a tire or something.
Yeah.
Oh. So I don't know much more to say about that, but think about that. We had an emergency, and I don't keep up with Miley Cyrus that much, but her airplane was struck by lightning. Now, I can only imagine being in an airplane. Can you imagine how loud that would have to be?
I can't even imagine. I mean, just being in a house that it hits right by it is bad enough. Being in an airplane, That would be awful.
That should have you a come to Jesus meeting is what I would call that.
Definitely.
She canceled her shows. They landed okay. She's a wild one. I don't know how to word that, but maybe that's a wake-up call to Miley going, get your act together. Let's hope so.
Well, I don't know. It says she says bottoms up. They celebrated afterwards with champagne.
Well, maybe it didn't work out.
I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, sounds like
she went on and partied anyway.
She had a celebratory.
She didn't call Brother Danny, is what you're telling me.
No.
And go, hey, let's have a talk. She didn't do that.
Yeah, that would make you want to rethink a whole lot of things.
It would me.
Struck by lightning in the sky in an airplane.
Man, and I don't know how many people. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that are watching that have never been in an airplane before. There's really nothing to be scared of. If I am a big chicken when it comes to heights, but airplanes don't bother me. The only time that I get spooked in an airplane, and I don't know if you've ever been through this, is turbulence.
Yeah, I did.
My heavens.
You know what was even worse was the casing on the window. While we were having turbulence, I noticed that there's duct tape. So that wasn't real good.
I hope you decided to fly another airline.
Well, it was a little connection flight between, I want to say I was leaving Wichita Falls, going to Dallas, and literally the plane had 6 seats. That's it.
Whoop.
So every little air pocket you hit, you felt it. And
Wow.
I was just praying. I was praying I made it there. So anyway.
I want to show this little video clip here as we talked about the storms that went through. This is one of the things that I posted yesterday. And let me blow this up so everybody else can see this and rewind this beautiful beam footage here. This is one of the homes that was hit in the Damascus area here. Let me pull this up where you can see this. And this is where you say, God's been good to me. Mm-hmm. And here we are. It's going to come across. That's light rain in the background. Look at that. That's what's left of the basement. Now, that's strong. I don't care how you slice it. Took the entire first floor of the home, gone away.
Yeah.
Always get to the lowest level that you can when storms gets through. Let me remind y'all now, these storms are not over. We're going to get more. We're just into the spring. So we're just saying be prepared. We'll be here to walk you through it next time as well. As I was just glancing down through of all of this. Boy, that was a lot. So
Yeah. Scary. And I really want to get the storm shelter put in. I keep saying we need to go ahead and get that done.
Ooh, let's see here. Good morning to Milton joining us there. Cindy Egan. Did I pronounce it right?
I think.
Egan. I'll say it that way. I'll say it 2 ways there. Lily Hampton, how are you doing? James Bailey joining us.
Rick Joyner, good morning. Robin Miller, good morning.
James says he believed that was an EF3 that they've rated it that. I know they've been out surveying. I hadn't spoke with the emergency management to get that official word. Odie, you can pass that along to us if you know as of yet. But that EF3 is pretty strong.
Yeah.
So
It is.
let's see some other things. And we're going to get into here in just a moment and talk about what's headed to the Supreme Court. A few things that's been said this week. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, Democrats are pushing, and I've got a simpler plan on this. They're pushing for an additional stimulus check to be issued to Americans. $300 each is what they want because gas is high and other things have gone up. My suggestion is simple. Let's produce our own oil, and we won't need to give checks to anybody and go deeper in debt.
Yeah.
Not that Americans don't need money. Don't take me wrong. I'm just saying we can fix this without going in debt quick. All it is, we've got it right here in the great U.S. of A. Let's use our own products. Use our heads. Sometimes I don't think people that are in Washington pay attention to what's going on that.
Well, I mean, sending out $300 a month to every American family, too, I mean, that's going to put the United States even deeper in debt. So, I don't know. It's just like they're digging a hole that we're never going to be able to get out of.
We're trillions. That might even be the word for it. It may even pass to trillions that we're in debt.
Yeah.
Ooh, we need some prayer for up in this country.
And
there.
a lot of people say, well, you know, people need help. They do need help. But in the long run, it's not going to benefit you. It's going to be worse.
We got to have jobs. People have to work. That's how you get out of debt. And buying our own oil from somebody else, buying oil for ourselves from somebody else, just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Well, people are still hurting for employees. I mean, they're still needing people to work. I can tell going into different stores, restaurants, they're shorthanded a lot of times. A lot of times, it's real easy to get aggravated when something's not going right, and you're thinking. But then I have to think about they probably really were in need of employees and threw them in there pretty fast without being able to train them as well as they would
on a normal basis.
In a normal
situation
instance, right?
Now,
so
I'd like to point out I want no doctors just taking anybody that may have failed their medical exam or anything big like that, or maybe a truck driver.
We're talking about like, food.
Yeah, and I was joking about that. But, I have heard, y'all know how rumors are that there, like in government agencies, there's tests you have to take. That they're so desperate that no matter what you done on your test, that you may have passed just because you showed up.
Right.
That's scary. Something to think on. Again, there's no way to prove that. That's just talk.
Right.
And I'm going to point out my talk from fact. Thanks for being part of it. We got more on the way with Scotty Ray and Candace. Y'all don't rush off. It's chilly. Get your jacket if you're walking outside. 41 right now. Thanks for joining us here. We got more on the way.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
I'm Michael Swansea. I'm an Alpha insurance agent. 9 out of 10 people don't understand what insurance actually is. I want to fix that. I want to take the opportunity to sit down with you and your family and really go over your insurance and make sure that y'all are protected. I don't want y'all going to bed at night wondering during the next emergency, during the next claim, am I going to be covered? Give me a chance to sit down with you and your family and fix that and make a difference.
Welcome. I'm Scotty Ray along with Candace, and we welcome you to our party each day. We come and join you from 8 to 9 here on television and YouTube and 4 or 5 other places, including Facebook. We do appreciate y'all joining us.
Yes, it's always a treat, and getting to read your comments and everything.
What do you have going on today? Is it a calm day, or is this one of those days where you can't see your hand in front of yourself?
It's been a busy morning already, so it's going to be a busy day. I'm pretty busy at work when I leave here to do hair, and then we've got baseball practice. I got to try to, it's going to be busy. So anyway, that's
hang in there.
Yeah.
Before long, you'll be back on the road again doing some Willie Nelson singing there at a ball game. Yeah. Let's go back into history today. Who remembers the year 1909? It was the first year that they made the Lincoln wheat penny. If you happen to have one of those with the VDB written on it, there's some, might better put that up. Also on that same date was this old boy that was born. He couldn't do a whole lot, so he turned to a life of crime and would be famous. You know him as, well, Bonnie and Clyde. Clyde Burrow was born on this date, 1909. He would be one of the most notorious criminals there ever was. I would say Jesse James, then him. I know we got some John Wesley Hardens in there, but sticking out Bonnie and Clyde, Pretty Boy Floyd, and people like that, Jesse James would probably have to go down in history as the most known outlaw.
Yeah.
You think I'm right on that?
Yeah, probably so.
We need to do a survey on that one day of who's who. But those are some of the folks there. Let's see what else happened on this day. Clyde, they would be taken out one day. I really like this guy. It would be the first time that we really saw a chase in a movie. And it would be Steve McQueen. People like this guy. Steve McQueen was born on this date in 1930. And they would find Bullet sitting in a junkyard in Mexico. And it would be hauled back to the U.S. and sold for an astronomical number, that Mustang. You did see the car chase, didn't you? You have no clue what I'm talking about.
I know about Steve McQueen, but no, I don't remember the car
It was
chase.
a 12-minute car chase that had never been done through the streets of San Francisco. At a Mustang versus a Dodge Charger. A couple bought the car, and it sat on their, the clutch went out, and it sat under their carport for like 12 years, and somebody finally sold it for like $1,000 to get rid of it out of there. And it sold for millions once it was found in Mexico.
Oh, goodness.
But that was a famous car. It was green and fast. 1958, he would hold up his right hand and be like every other American for a time. And we're talking Elvis Presley, who was inducted into the Army on this date. That was the scene. I think him and 12 others rode that bus that day from there, swearing in to the base, and it would go down in history from there.
Now, was he drafted, or
I
was
want to
he
say he went ahead and signed
just
up
went
when he
ahead and
come.
signed it? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Now, there was a lot of drafts. He didn't wait for it. Any Buck Owens fans out there? A lot of folks know the name only from watching Hee Haw as a kid, that red, white, and blue guitar. But he made his way, and his biggest hit that really put him on the map was I Got a Tiger by the Tail and other songs. But this one was number one on this date in 1966. And if you go back and listen to it today, you go, did they really play that on the radio? The song was, and again, it was number one, Waiting in Your Welfare Line was the number one song on this. I've got the hongries for your love, as Buck sang, and I'm a-waiting in your welfare line. It's a shame you don't know that, and you could sing us a line or two of that.
You could sing it, I'm sure.
No, I'm really not a singer. I've been urged to not even sing in the shower.
Really?
Yeah, it's that bad.
Oh.
I can talk, but I can't sing. I don't have the tone for it for whatever reason. God didn't bless me with that.
Well, I try, but I don't know. I'm a shower singer and a car singer.
Reminds me of Elf in the shower scene.
Oh, yeah.
1976, we had another one that would become a great football player. Got some connections right here in our area from Philadelphia. And he does great commercials. Hangs out with Brad Paisley and tells us about insurance. Peyton Manning has a birthday today.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Really, he is funny. He should have another sideline in comedy. 1981, you would sit out. And this all started when we had the the hostages in Iran. I believe that's where it was. Back in the day, and every night they were doing coverage on this. And after that concluded and the hostages were saved, after Reagan went in, they thought, well, we need another show. And he would host it as Ted Koppel took to the news desk in 1981 to bring you those stories every night. I remember that a long time ago. He was young then.
Yeah.
Can you believe that's been that many years ago?
I can't. I'm going to tell you, time just flies right on by.
Wow. 1985. This was not one of my favorite duets ever, but it did make number one. It's worth honorable mention because it does mention two people that are big in the music industry that you'll know. Ray Charles. He done a little hanging out with Willie. And they had, do you remember this one?
Yes, I do.
7 Spanish Angels took another angel home.
Yep.
At the Altar of the Sun. I was trying to remember some of the words that went with that song.
Yeah, I don't know all the words to that song, but I do remember it.
Again, it wasn't one of my favorites, but it was big in the day. 1989, you would wake up and this would happen. I think this was about the first time we'd ever seen a disaster like this.
And this where all the birds and everything were killed and were dying.
The 1989 Exxon Valdez crashed. Oil went everywhere.
Yeah.
And we would learn that Dawn dishwashing liquid would just about take stains out of anything. That's what they used on the birds.
Yeah, it was bad for the sea life and
Yeah.
the birds and everything that got caught in that.
There was a remake that was released on this date, and boy, did they sing it good. And it went number one. It would, but it was released on this date back in 1996. And no, I never had a shirt with flames on it. And I'd like to point out, I walked to my own beat. But Brooks and Dunn,
Look, his
my
boots,
Maria.
his boots match his shirt.
Sure do. Those are some great guys. They're going to be coming to Brandon before long there at the amphitheater there, if you like them.
Yeah, I always loved Brooks and Dunn.
Good folks. Back in 2000, what is interesting about this? I met him when he was really a nobody, and they put him and Shania together. Neither one of them were anybody, and they put him on about a 48 tour of Walmarts. They wanted to get to the people that would buy their records, and they go, well, Walmart is where you'll find those. And they put him on a tour, and they put him in the parking lots. It worked. He would be dropped by his record label. They would get rid of him. And he goes, no, before I go, that's my music. And he bought his music back. Normally that doesn't happen. They keep it and you never see it. He bought it, went to the bank, borrowed the money, and got it. And he was so convinced that he had something that was worth something. And it did. It worked out. In 2000, it would go number one, How Do You Like Me Now? Song about a kid that was a nobody in high school, bumps into an old girl, and he says, how do you like me now? Singing to you in your bedroom every morning. She was miserable with that old boy that she married. She wouldn't even pay him attention when he was a kid. Always stories like that. But he done good. glad for that. 98, Jonesboro, Arkansas. I'm a little out of swank here. I got out of my dates here, but 98, Jonesboro, Arkansas. We would have a school shooting. It would be a 13-year-old and 11-year-old that did it. Horrible thing as we look back on this date is what happened there.
Awful, awful. Yeah.
But that does have, we even had that in Jackson, Mississippi. Now, I admit, I have never, and they say it's funny. I've watched maybe 30 seconds of it, and I thought, well, I don't find that funny. But apparently I'm missing something.
What is the guy?
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell. He is funny in other things, and he's kind of funny in this. And there's parts of it that is really funny. But overall, I mean, I just can't get into it.
I've sat there
Some
and go,
people love it.
I
mean, they just love it. And I'm just kind of sitting there
going, I don't get that.
It's just kind of like a everyday office setting, you know. And every now and then somebody will say something that's funny. Or
maybe I need to go back and give that one more chance on the, I don't know. It didn't click with me. Y'all may love that. That may be your show there. So.
I mean, some of it is really funny, so, but not all. It's not something I could sit there and binge watch. Some people do that, but anyway.
They do. More on the way with Scotty Ray and Candace on this gorgeous Thursday as we wait for high of 68. That is right around the corner, so don't rush off. We got so much for you coming up as we take you through this day.
As the days get warmer, the grass starts growing. Drop in and visit with Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 in Sicalina, where they've got a complete line of the #1 lawnmower in America, Skag. Whether you're a homeowner or a lawn care service, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower just for you. Plus, they carry X-Mark tractors and any part that you may need for your existing tractor or lawnmower. Drop in and see Cole or Buttermilk today. Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, 601-626-8759.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. Linda made a comment that I wanted to address. She said, Scotty Ray, what is wrong with giving people that need money? We send millions overseas. Why argue with that? My argument on that is we could fix that without having to give money by drilling in our own country. Gas prices at $4, $5, $6 a gallon is not necessary when we have all of this here in the homeland. When gas was $1.69, jobs were plentiful, and everybody had a little pocket change. Now we're having to give people money because prices are out of hand. Inflation is up to 70, the first time in 43 years, the highest ever. Interest rates are climbing. It's because of who's running our country and the way they handle it. Politicians. No, I agree that people need help. But the way to fix it is to drill oil. Put our people to work, and then we don't have to go back in debt. And that's what I mean by that. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. But that's what I meant by that. I wanted to clarify that, Linda, and I appreciate your comment.
I think our overall system's just broken, too. I think they need to look at some of the different areas where they are spending money and put it towards some other areas where it's needed more. I don't know. I just don't understand the keeping on giving out all this money that in the end, I mean, a lot of people won't work when they didn't. And there's some people, because I have been there. I know where you work every day and you still can't make ends meet. I know. I've been there. And I am not at all putting anybody down for taking money because I know people need it. But just the overall system in this country is broken in a lot of areas. I mean, I just think they need to reevaluate some stuff.
And I wish I could sit here and tell you I know the answer to the homeless problem in America. We've got that right here in this community.
We do.
Bad. I'm telling you, if y'all ever watched the trains arrive into town, they bail off when they're coming into town. They roll out. We've got them all over. Homeless camps everywhere. You may not see it driving down the street. That doesn't mean that it's not there. We look at L.A., to where it almost now looks like a third world country with people living on the street and going to the bathroom on sidewalks now. We cannot have that. Do I know the answer? No. But we got to do something that starts with the politicians and our lawmakers.
And we don't ever know what brought somebody to the situation they're in.
No, we don't.
We don't. There's some people who choose that lifestyle. There's some people who do everything they can and they don't want to be there and they want to do better for themselves.
Well,
I think that's,
a prime example of that. And, and I've always been a music man, and I always go back to songs. Do y'all remember Mark, the song Don't Laugh at Me? Mm-hmm. About the homeless guy standing at the street corner holding up a sign, and his wife and kids were killed in a head-on car wreck. And he pretty much gave up on life, and that's how he got on the street. We don't know their stories.
Yeah.
We don't. I'm compassionate, but I want our country to stand on our own. I want us to manufacture our own products.
Yeah.
I'm too tired of waiting on something to arrive from China that's not coming, that could have been made here in America and put somebody to work so they could feed their family. Mm-hmm. That's my thoughts.
I'm pretty much tired of people up in Washington and other higher up areas who act like they care about the people of this country, but they're not in the situations that the people in this country are in. They're sitting up on a pedestal and dealing out all these things that they, are wanting to do. They don't know how affected these people are in this country about stuff,
true. And if you don't think this country isn't divided, really look around. And politicians have put it that way.
Right.
They've harped on subjects that really didn't matter while they were. What they do, and we all know this, everyone gets caught up in it from time to time. They'll start a controversy over here, and it's the number one thing that America talks about while they're behind closed doors doing something that they don't want you to know about.
Right,
and usually it ain't good.
Well, there's no reason that this country could not be self-sufficient. I mean, there's just no reason that they shouldn't be drilling our own oil and, constantly doing that. I mean, not just a few places doing it. I mean, they should be doing it overall. We shouldn't be getting that from other countries. We just shouldn't.
Now, this next subject, now you may not agree with me. And that's fine. It's okay for us as Americans to disagree, but agree to disagree, if that made any kind of sense of how I was trying to spit it out there. The election of what was chosen to go in the White House is going to change what is fixing to happen in the Supreme Court. I don't know if y'all saw this yesterday with some of the questionings. And let me put this out there. When you cannot answer this question, it tells you what lies ahead for our country. They were questioning her, and her name is
Ketanji.
Yeah, I wasn't going to be able to pronounce it. Her last name is Jackson. She refused to give the definition of what a woman is. Mm-hmm. Did y'all hear me? Refused to answer definition of a woman. She said she's not a biologist.
I watched a good bit of that, not all of it. I mean, when I could catch it, I was watching it yesterday, and I think she's a very sophisticated lady. I think she's had a lot of experience. I think that she's probably qualified to do the job. I think a lot of the questioning was her, the way she had decided on some cases, or maybe the leniency that she put on some kind of, on different sentences and stuff, and what she believed. And when they would ask her how she believed in certain ways or what she thought about certain things, it was just a lot of runaround. Like, she didn't answer a lot of the questions. And I'm just going back to like when they had the other girl, Amy Coney Barrett. I mean, they put her through the mill too, and I didn't see any kind of leniency with her, and any kind of really praising of her. And I thought she, was a stand-up person too. But I don't know. I just think that if you're asked a question, you should answer it. I don't think you should dance around it. Or
this is a pretty solid question. It's a straightforward question. Now we go to the next question that was brought up to her yesterday, and Lindsey Graham threw a fit. I said fit Brown, and I got all confused there. But she also went into this to where she was saying that supervision is adequate for people that are pedophiles, just to watch over them, like they didn't need to go to jail or be punished for what they do. I don't agree with that. We need to listen to some of these things that are being said.
Well, and they were also asking her because I think she had made the statement one time in a sentencing thing. I'm not real sure what it was, but the statement was made that just because somebody looks at child pornography doesn't mean they're a pedophile. Well, I'm sorry, but if you're looking at child pornography, you're I would think you would have ill intentions in some kind of shape, form, or fashion.
It ain't good. I agree.
And I think that's,
Lindsey,
it's twisted. I'm sorry.
She was saying that it's okay just to have somebody watch them instead of doing any jail time for any of this. Who
has time to watch everybody?
What that does is it makes more come to that, because it's just like what we're seeing in these cities now, to where anything under $1,000 is no longer a crime. What do? They do more of it.
Yeah.
What is happening to the streets of America?
And I don't really understand. I don't understand these confirmation hearings, really, because, I mean, are they going to, like, if they disagree with something she says, are they going to say, okay, we're not going to confirm you? I mean, it's pretty much a shoe-in that she's going to be confirmed.
Yes, that she's going to be confirmed.
So, I don't know. I don't, you know,
and you know, she may have some great ideas, too, that I haven't seen.
Right.
These are just two that I saw that I go, well, I would know how to answer that pretty quickly.
I think she handled herself with class. I think she's a classy lady. And like I said, she's qualified. When you look at her credentials and stuff on paper, she's qualified. And so, I mean, I know they will confirm her, but it is, I mean, something that people need to know how she feels about things, because that is going to sway her decision on different things when she does go to the Supreme Court.
And then you get 2 to 3 more that agree with her, and then that balance sways. Right. America has changed forever, and there's no coming back.
Yeah.
That's just thoughts. But and again, you can disagree with me. That's okay. Mm-hmm. But that's my 2 cents on that. Now, here's something that got my dandruff up yesterday. It bothered me. I watched the video, and I won't play it because there's just too much cursing involved in the video of this. A 96-year-old veteran served 3 tours. Fought for our country, is trying to get off a bus, and a 20-something-year-old girl won't get out of his way and is screaming at him, yelling at him, making a scene, and he needs to get off the bus, and she refused to even help or just get out of his way so he could roll his wheelchair off of the bus. It's disgusting. There's no other way to word it. People like this are a nuisance to America. You've got to, and it goes back to many, many times, as I said, respect has to be taught at home in a family. She has never been taught that. And one day all of this will catch up with this generation that believes in this.
Right.
But a veteran, 96 years old, you respect. Even if he wasn't a veteran, someone that is elderly, you pay respect. Did you see this? And I need to find the story. Here it is. The lady, the 87-year-old lady that was pushed down in New York City. Mm-hmm. She was a pianist, a vocal coach. And she was killed by someone. And my first thought was, it's some drugged up, homeless person that is sleeping on the streets that done this. Oh, it is far from that. This is the generation that I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. A socialite has been arrested. She's 26 years old. Her family is a multi-millionaires. And here she is. Here's a picture of her. She pushed an 87-year-old down, killed her. Now, will money get her out of this? I don't know. But she killed somebody for no reason. Mm-hmm. How do we get to a society, and we're seeing more of this happen, privileged?
Yeah.
Never worked a day in her life like you and I have, having to go out, and if you don't show up, you don't eat that night, or you don't get your rent paid, or you can't put gas in there, or give your children a toy that they want, or your grandkids a toy. Ooh, I get bent out of shape on this, Candace.
I'm going to tell you, I do too. I mean, I just believe that if you're not teaching your child respect, I mean, you're not fully doing your duty as a parent. But
she's been charged with manslaughter. Here's her big picture there behind bars. She didn't smile as much now.
Right, yeah.
But again, there's a lot of money behind this, and we'll see if she actually goes to court. It's almost sometimes there's 2 laws. Mm-hmm. For those of us who are just getting by, and then those that have all the money that, the Smollett guy, 3 days in jail, and he was out?
I don't think money should even be an issue when it comes to a crime. I mean, if you do the crime, you need to have to do the time. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a politician. I don't care if you're who you are. Nobody is exempt from that.
Well, there was a movie that had that title, Above the Law. Does that happen?
Oh, yeah.
I hate to break everybody's heart, but it does. That does exist in America. And I'm not trying to be ugly, but things like that happen out there. Mm-hmm. I once had a lady tell me, when I was involved in something, she sat down with me and she had a talk with me, and she says, I want you to understand something. She said, there's not a judge, there's not a jury that can't be bought. There is somebody out there when you go before court that can be bought from behind the scenes. And she goes, I'm warning you. Mm-hmm. And that is so true in so many cases. You don't always know about these things, but do things like that happen in America? They absolutely do.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to use the term drain the swamp.
Yeah, I like that term.
I think draining the swamp needs to happen in a lot of different areas.
It does.
Not just in government or politics.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to happen in a lot of different areas.
Oh, it's at every aspect of America, Candace. And you made a good point on that.
You should never sacrifice your morals or, respect or anything for money, for $1. Because, you can't take that with you.
And I want to say this. I know a lot of people that God has blessed and they're millionaires, but they do good with it. It's what you do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you said that because I'm not trying to down people that's got money.
No.
I'd love to have a lot more money than I got.
Yeah, because I'd ask you for some.
I'm not trying to down people that have money. I think it's a wonderful thing when people have money and they can pay it forward to somebody else and help them out. I think that's great.
But old devil gets up in a lot of people's head once they get a hold of this stuff and they become mean to other people and do things just because they can.
Always stay true to your roots. I don't care. I'm serious. Stay true to yourself and true to your roots.
Yeah, I'm going to mispronounce it, so I'm going to let you put what John said he is.
A dollaraire.
Yeah, I would have said it.
Instead of a millionaire,
yeah.
He's a dollaraire.
Yeah. Makes me feel special. I think I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another one of our friends that help us out and do so much. Godwin Cleaning Services. Do you need your home clean, make it look great, or your business? Talk to them. They use a very soft solution that works. It won't damage your home, your business, whatever that is, and what you need clean, they'll do that. From roofs to metal buildings, they do all of this. Now, let's step on over and talk about what happens at the house. Sidewalks, whether that's concrete or brick, they can bring it back to life and make it look new once again. Low pressure there. Look at that. 253-8262. Want to turn your porch or business the way it used to look? They can do this, and this just kind of happens over time.
That's dangerous, too.
Slip.
It's slick when it's got all that moss stuff
Yeah,
on
you ever leaned up against a column there that's slick, too? Whoop. They'll do it. Save you money is what that really does. Cleans your roof. You don't have to repaint your house. See them, slate roofs, asphalt roofs, shingle roofs, whatever you've got, they've got something to clean it. Before and after pictures there in Newton as we look at chimneys to get rid of that old rust color. Talk to them. Godwin Cleaning Services. Again, that number to call, 253-8262, is who you get in touch with. See them today, and they'll help you in so many different ways.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Cuties or Halos, a 3-pound bag, $6.99. Fresh cantaloupes, $2.99 each. Dixie Crystal Sugar, a 4-pound bag, $2.89. Brian Wieners, a 12-ounce package, $1.69. Family Pack boneless pork chops, $2.49. And certified Angus beef ribeye steaks family pack, $12.49 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
When an accident occurs with a commercial vehicle, it's not just another accident. These accidents become a responsibility of not only the company driver, but also their employer.
If you've been injured in an accident, remember, one call, that's all.
As we look at statistics, and we'll probably see a whole lot more of this coming out, COVID, where kids stayed at home and tried to do virtual learning. As we start seeing numbers come out, reading has gone, it's slipped, mathematics has slipped. Our country is in a downward spiral when it comes to education at this point.
Right.
Like it or not, staying at home, a student, a child just does not get what he needs in front of a teacher, that one-on-one time.
Right.
We all know that. Now we're starting to see numbers that back that up. Sad news yesterday as we see 7 children age 1 to 7 are hospitalized. What happened? Well, the person that was looking after them ran to the store for something. The 7-year-old hands out sleeping pills to all of the kids, and they all took it. I think it was sleeping pills.
Yeah. I think there's 1 or 2 of them that are still in critical condition. That is scary, though.
Yeah, and did that person that ran to the store think anything was going to happen? No, they didn't. But who would have thought that a child would have done that?
Well, who would think it's okay to leave a 7-year-old in charge of?
Yeah. And that goes back to childproofing your home and putting medications up.
Right.
Not where kids can just run in and grab it and play with it. It's just a habit. You get used to being there by yourself all the time, and then small children coming in your house, and it's a whole different game changer.
Yeah, it is. Anything that could harm them, you just need to put it out of the way.
To this day, Kurt has to put those little things in the sockets so Candace won't stick her fingers in it.
I know.
It's just,
And
you want to do it, don't you?
Yeah, he just needs, I guess that's right. That and the vacuum cleaner cord.
The thing about it is, it only takes one time to cure you from ever wanting to stick your finger into an electric socket.
Well, I know.
It'll give you that little zing.
I was cleaning something one time and had a wet rag and was wiping. I didn't wipe over. I don't remember, but it shot the fire. I mean, I didn't even have to put anything in it. I just kind of wiped around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't do that again. So.
Get your and then that old trick of somebody saying, "Here, stick this to your tongue." The 9-volt battery. Yeah, they got me as a kid with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it never happened again.
I bet not. So.
I'll bring that in and try it on Candace, see if she forgets. We want to say thank y'all so much for being a part of our show. You make it. Again, if you've got something community going on in your neck of the woods, let us know so we can share it.
Yes, we always love to hear your comments. And anytime, like Scotty Ray said, we can pass any information on that will help our community or help you, let us know.
All right. We're coming back tomorrow morning beginning at 8. We'll be here all day to give you any breaking news that happens.
Have a wonderful day.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by our following partners: